Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blunt Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Ronnie, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, I am going to talk about how YouTubers feel like it's their job to expose other YouTubers. I was scrolling through and, I listened to different commentary, and there was one, I cannot remember the name of this channel, but I want to say they call him the mayor. And he was, I guess, felt that it was his job to expose Scruface for like some questionable tweets from like 10 to 12 years ago. Now, I do agree in some instances where people need to know about some things, because I don't know who the other guy is, but they were like, it was a guy named Maul or Molly Maul or something like that. I don't know, that they went back and found some tweets about him from 10 to 12 years ago. And some of these tweets are disturbing, some of them are not. But in recent years, the culture of YouTube has evolved significantly, leading to a surge in commentators who feel compelled to uncover and criticize the past actions of their peers. Now, I do think it's a difference in reporting the news, because like I watch Tisa Tales and I watch some other people, and I like to get different people's takes on what they are, the news that they're trying to get out. But I don't know if it's news per se, if it's like other YouTubers, and what you think you're trying to expose is not coming across as, I guess, I don't know, but there's different reasons of why people would do that. But one of the primary reasons for this behavior is the desire for accountability. Many commentators believe that by exposing problematic tweets or statements from fellow YouTubers, that they are holding their colleagues responsible for their past actions. This notion of accountability often stems from a belief in social justice, where individuals feel that public figures should be scrutinized for their words and actions, particularly if they contradict their current beliefs or values. I think where the issue with, I'm going to say, the mayor and Scruface is the fact that Scruface had to be around 19 or 20 years old. And I would hope that everybody would grow in the last 10 years after becoming parents, after, experiencing things that actually go against your morals. I don't know if what this commentator is doing would be necessarily considered exposing. The other stuff that I heard about the mall man, I don't know, but some of the shit that he said, if he said that shit, it was very, very troubling. Another reason behind this trend to quote unquote expose fellow YouTubers is the intense competition within the YouTube community. As channels grow and audiences expand, the pressure to maintain a positive public image increases. Some commentators may resort to digging up old tweets to undermine their rival, hoping to diminish their credibility and viewership. This tactic can create a toxic atmosphere where negativity thrives, and commentators feel justified in their actions regardless of the potential harm to their peers, thereby seeking to increase their own viewership at the expense of their peers. I think about how it's this channel called Danni the Truth Teller or Danni Robertson or something like that. And she first started out with exposing nosy hoes. The next thing she did was kind of like latched on to being rivals with Jaguar Wright. And I don't know what happened, but I did have somebody to contact me saying that they were looking for all commentators who had done any stories on Jaguar Wright, and that when they went to look in different places, that people's things that they did on her, some of it is gone. I don't know. I'm not worried about it, but when I think about the intent, I don't think that the intent was good with the reason why Danni Robertson wanted to expose Jaguar Wright. I can see some of the other people, maybe personal vendettas or whatever, but I didn't see that. I don't get it. And from the last time I saw, that was one of still the ongoing things that she was doing. One major issue with this behavior is the normalization of negativity. When commentators feel justified in attacking others, it creates a culture where harmful actions are overlooked or even encouraged. This toxicity not only affects the individuals targeted, but also the broader community, as viewers may become desensitized to such negativity. Instead of fostering a supportive environment, the community becomes rife with distrust and hostility. And you see it in these YouTube beefs that they have going on. They would say some of the most disrespectful things that they would not say to a person in person. The ramification of this toxic behavior extends beyond the immediate interactions between creators. It can lead to a decline in content quality, as creators may prioritize drama and conflict over originality and creativity. The focus shifts from producing valuable content to engage in impersonal attack, which can alienate audiences who are seeking positivity and inspiration from the platform. The mental health of creators can suffer significantly due to this toxic environment. The pressure to constantly defend oneself against attack can lead to anxiety, depression, and burnout, such as Scruface trying to explain himself. Even with the Kendrick and Drake situation, it seems to me from everything that I see that Drake is still trying to, I guess, defend himself against the attack. And maybe he is spiraling. But even in that aspect, I feel like when Kendrick said he liked Drake with the melodies, he don't like Drake when he acts up, and then the next major project that you have come out is R&B. It's for the not for the ladies, because the ladies are not in the strip club. So I don't know about for the ladies. You probably, like you said, all my dogs. You probably should have named it all my hoes, but Then there's this phenomenon of cancel culture, which plays a significant role in this dynamic. In a landscape where public opinion can shift rapidly, like at the drop of a dime, commentators may feel that exposing past mistakes is a way to align themselves with the current moral standards of their audience. By doing so, they not only seek to elevate their own status, but also to position themselves as champions of a particular movement, which can ultimately drive more views and engagement to their channel. The nature of social media fosters a culture of instant gratification. And you see a lot of people doing commentary about Drake wanted instant gratification when he was in this beef, when he kept asking Kendrick to drop. And and Kendrick didn't seek instant gratification. It was delayed gratification. So a lot of commentators are talking about that. So if you need more into that, you can look at that. But many YouTubers engage in this kind of behavior to generate quick content that sparks controversy or debate. In the age of viral content, sensationalism often takes precedence over thoughtful analysis. This rush to produce engaging material may lead to a lack of thorough investigation, resulting in misrepresentation or distortion of the facts surrounding the tweets in question. Now that makes me think about this other commentator. His name is I want to say big kiss. She'd be like, let's get it. Now I used to really like watching him, but I would see now that he would base his opinion off of watching one video or one person's analysis of something without, combining different videos together to back up his opinion. So I do think that sometimes this often leads to the lack of thoughtful analysis. Now, on the other hand, some commentators might genuinely believe that they are contributing to a larger conversation about ethics and morality within the YouTube community. They may argue that it is important to address harmful rhetoric and promote a healthier discourse among content creators. However, even well-intentioned attempts can backfire and lead to unnecessary hostility and division within the community. Because you can get someone and they have a different opinion, instead of saying, I disagree, it's name calling, you're stupid, and you're all this, all because of difference of opinion, instead of just stating your stance where you stand on it and supporting it with evidence. They will go on the attack against the other person. While there are various motivations behind the actions of YouTube commentators who expose their peers, the consequences often lead to more fractured and hostile environments. The balance between accountability and the competitive nature of the platform often blurs, creating a space where the line between constructive criticism and harmful exposure become increasingly difficult to define. Ultimately, it is essential for YouTubers to consider the implications of their actions on their fellow creators as they navigate this complex landscape. So I feel like the mayor probably needs to think about his real reasons behind making several videos saying that he's exposing other YouTubers. Right now, we're in Black History Month. And instead of exposing fellow YouTubers for, as they call it, questionable tweets, because like I said, with one, I understand, but with the Scruface stuff, I just honestly feel like it's more of some type of jealousy, not that he's trying to call the kettle black, because the pot trying to call the kettle black, because like I said, at the time he was young, I would like some clarification on some of the tweets that he done when you was talking about these young girls. What age of young girls were you talking about? I mean, so I think there's some questions to be asked instead of going on the attack. But that's just my thoughts on it, and I'm going to leave it at that. Remember, you can catch the podcast on all podcasting platforms. You can catch us streaming on social media sometimes. I actually got a couple of interviews lined up with 2 different record labels coming up this coming weeks. But you can also catch us on my website and get your merchandise at www.blonde-intelligence.com. You can follow me on Twitter or whatever you call it now, X or whatever, at RRONEICE. Of course, I lost one of my Facebook pages, but you can follow Indie Artist Music Hustle. And my tag is Blonde Intelligence. So if you're at Blonde Intelligence, you should be able to find me everywhere. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.